December 4th, 1872. Atlantic Ocean. 10 people vanish from a ship. For 150 years, the world has been asking the same question. Where did they go? Wrong question. The lifeboat is missing. So we know exactly where they went. They rowed away, voluntarily, in calm weather, with a perfectly working ship beneath their feet. They left hot food on the table, money in the captain's drawer, a child's toy on the pillow, and $35,000 worth of cargo in the hold. Nobody takes nothing when they abandon ship. Nobody leaves their child's belongings behind unless they are running. The real question, the one every official investigation deliberately avoided, is not where they went, it's what they saw. What did 10 people witness on that ship that made the open Atlantic Ocean feel safer than staying aboard? Because whatever it was, it has never been found, and it is still out there. New York Harbor, November 7th, 1872. The Mary Celeste sits low in the water, freshly caulked, rigging taut, ready. 102 feet of American-built oak, her cargo, 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, bound for Genoa, Italy. The ship is in perfect condition, just completed a full refit. There is no mechanical reason, none, why this voyage should be anything other than routine. Her captain is Benjamin Spooner Briggs, 37 years old, third-generation mariner from Massachusetts, a veteran of more than a decade at sea. Steady, meticulous, unshakable. He is so confident in this voyage that he brings his wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia aboard. He leaves their 7-year-old son home with relatives, not because the journey is dangerous, because the boy has school. The morning they depart, Briggs writes to his mother, "I have a good crew. The ship is in fine order. We shall have a pleasant voyage." The Mary Celeste clears the harbor and sails east. She is never seen with her crew again. Think about that for a second. This is not a rookie captain. This is not a man who panics, a decade at sea, a wife and baby daughter aboard. Whatever happened on that ship, it was enough to break him. November 1872. The North Atlantic is not gentle that month. A string of violent storms tears through the mid-ocean corridor. Seas rising 30 feet, winds exceeding 60 miles per hour. Ship's logs from the period describe the weather as among the worst in years. The Mary Celeste sails directly into this corridor and battles it for days. And then, on November 25th, Captain Briggs makes his last known log entry. Position, approximately 400 miles east of the Azores Islands. Weather, improving, nothing unusual. He closes the logbook, sets it in its place, and somewhere in the days that follow, something happens. Something that no logbook will ever record. December 4th, 1872. The brigantine Dea Gracia spots a vessel drifting. No flag flying. Erratic course. First mate Oliver DeVoe boards her. He already knows something is wrong before he reaches the deck. Too quiet. He calls out. Nothing answers. He goes below. A meal on the table, not yet fully spoiled. Sarah Briggs's jewelry box open on the dresser. Little Sophia's cloth doll on the bunk. In the crew quarters, pipes, boots, razors, exactly where their owners left them. Nobody packed, nobody prepared to leave. The cargo, untouched. Food stores, full. Fresh water, enough for 6 months. The hull, sound. The pumps, working. The Mary Celeste is not sinking. She is not on fire. She has no reason to be abandoned. She is simply empty. The chronometer and the ship's papers are missing, and the lifeboat is gone, not broken free in a storm, deliberately lowered and rowed away. 8 days later, both ships enter Gibraltar Harbor, and the world's greatest maritime mystery begins. The Vice Admiralty Court of Gibraltar convenes December 17, 1872. Attorney General Frederick Solly Flood is convinced of foul play from day one. He suspects Captain Morehouse of the Dea Gracia, the man who found the ship. He had dinner with Briggs just weeks before both ships departed New York. Too convenient, Solly Flood argues. He orders every inch of the Mary Celeste examined, sends a reddish-brown substance found on the captain's sword to a London analyst. Pursues his theory for 3 months, and then every single piece of it collapses. The substance on the sword? Not blood, not human, not animal, possibly fruit juice, possibly rust. No conspiracy, no evidence. On March 14, 1873, the court closes the case. Its conclusion on what happened to the crew, unknown. The world's most powerful maritime court. Every expert, every resource available, and they had nothing. Here is where it gets interesting. Because the theories that followed each sound plausible for exactly 30 seconds. Then the evidence kills them. The alcohol fumes theory. The cargo produced invisible vapors. Convinced Briggs his ship was about to explode, he lowered the lifeboat to wait at a safe distance. Scientists at University College London tested this in 2006. The alcohol burned with invisible flames, no smoke, no lasting trace. It could have terrified a crew, plausible. But if they rowed away to wait, why didn't they come back? The Mary Celeste was found still sailing, still sound, still completely habitable. The theory has no answer. The seaquake theory, an underwater seismic event shook the hull. The crew panicked and abandoned ship on a rope. The rope snapped. They drowned. Seaquake activity was recorded near the Azores that November. It explains the hasty departure, but it requires Benjamin Briggs, the steadiest captain of his generation, to look at 3.5 feet of water in the bilge and conclude his ship is sinking. Every maritime expert who has reviewed this case gives the same response. Briggs would not have made that mistake. The piracy theory dies even faster. Pirates don't leave $35,000 of cargo untouched. They don't reseal hatches. They don't arrange furniture. The court spent 3 months looking for evidence of violence. They found none. Every theory explains one thing and breaks against another. That is the real horror of the Mary Celeste. The evidence isn't missing. It's there. It just doesn't add up to anything. It points in every direction at once, and nowhere at the same time. So strip away the theories. Here is what the evidence actually tells us. Sometime between November 25th and December 4th, every person aboard the Mary Celeste boarded the ship's small lifeboat. They took the chronometer and the ship's papers, so they planned to navigate and identify themselves. They left everything else behind, so they left in seconds. They attached the lifeboat to the ship with a rope. That rope was found frayed and broken, snapped under tension in heavy seas. After it broke, they were alone in the North Atlantic in November in an open boat. And they were never found. Not a body, not a plank, not a scrap of clothing. The Atlantic kept every single one of them. What the evidence cannot tell us, what it has never told anyone in 152 years, is the only thing that actually matters. What did Benjamin Briggs see that morning? What made a man who knew ships the way most men know their own homes, who brought his wife and baby daughter aboard because he was absolutely certain of his vessel's safety? What made that man choose an open lifeboat in the North Atlantic over a working ship? He made that calculation. He weighed both options. He chose the water, and whatever he saw that drove him to that choice, he took it with him into the ocean. In 1884, Arthur Conan Doyle published a fictional story inspired by the Mary Celeste. So convincing that readers believed it was real, newspapers reprinted it as fact. The Gibraltar court had to issue a formal correction. Each generation added its own impossibility. Sea monsters, the Bermuda Triangle, alien abduction, until the real facts became almost invisible beneath the fiction. Because fiction is comfortable, it gives the mystery a shape. The truth doesn't have a shape. The truth is just 10 people, a working ship, a cold morning in the Atlantic, and a decision that has never been explained. The Mary Celeste changed hands 17 times in 12 years. Sailors refused to crew her. In 1885, her final owner deliberately ran her aground off Haiti in an insurance fraud scheme. He was tried but died before the case could reach its conclusion. So did several of his co-conspirators. The ship that couldn't keep her crew alive destroyed the men who tried to destroy her. She broke apart on that Haitian reef. The ocean took what remained. Today, nothing exists of the Mary Celeste except court records, log entries, and questions. Little Sophia Briggs appears in no photograph, just a name in a manifest. A cloth doll on a bunk that no one ever came back to collect. We don't do easy answers on this channel. We do the cases where the evidence is real, the people were real, and the explanation is still missing. The Mary Celeste is the purest version of that. No conspiracy, no cover-up, just 10 people, a working ship, a cold morning east of the Azores, and a question sitting open for 152 years. Whatever Benjamin Briggs saw that morning, the ocean has kept it. And as far as anyone can tell, it intends to keep it forever. If this story got under your skin, hit that like button right now. It tells me you want more of these.